Hi, I want to talk to you today about the theme of a lot with a little. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons why this is important to me is because I don't always have the highest estimation of myself or even all the resources God has graciously given to me. Even the groups of people God has set me in terms of communities, churches. When I start to do the statistical data, I realize that we really don't have a lot. We really have very little. When I think about my desire to be a positive influence on the world, and then I go to Wikipedia and type in how many people are on the face of the earth, and I see it's like 7 billion, and you see the counter thing going and going and going. You suddenly get smacked in the face with the insignificance and the questions of how am little old me, one out of 7 billion people, ever going to impact the world? And then I was reading recently about Jesus, and he fed 5,000 people, and it was him and 12 men. And I paused and I realized that you can do a lot with a little. And I started thinking to myself, if I was a consultant and Jesus came and asked me for my opinion, as laughable as that is, and he said, I want to feed 5,000 men plus women and children. And I've got these 12 guys. We've never done this before. What do you think? I'd say, well, you're going to need to put out the pamphlets and get volunteers sign up, and you probably should have 4 people for every 100, 1 person for every 25 people. In other words, there's these 12 guys, they can't cut it. Find some specialists, call up some networks, see if people have done this before, call some churches up and have them ship in a team to do this. In other words, Jesus, don't you dare try to pull this off with just 12 people. It's too much, and you don't have enough resources. The reality of it is sometimes life demands and calls us to the reality that we're under-resourced. It was the disciples themselves in this setting that said, where are we going to get food to feed all these people? And what does Jesus say? Bring them to me. Bring the loaves and the fish to me. I know they're very little. And what did he do? He did a lot with a little. And I'm not promoting insanity. I'm not promoting that you live on empty and that you need to wake up and go to bed with Advil and a whole host of other things in order to keep going, and you're taking Red Bull shots and all that stuff. But what I am saying is that I think we underestimate how much we can do with very little. Most of us are afraid of bees, but bees are like that big. Okay, some of the wasps are bigger, but we're afraid of little bees. Why? Because they might sting us. Have you ever looked at a bee stinger? I know it sounds crazy, but every now and then when I've gotten stung, I'll actually pull the stinger out. The stinger's so little, but we don't want to be stung by it because it hurts. Those little tiny bees pack a wallop. You see where I'm going with this? You can do a lot with a little. I wonder sometimes if in your personal life you have underestimated the resources that God has given you. I'm talking about your personality. I'm talking about your ability to listen, the way you see things, your art, your artistry, what you can create, what you can cook, your faithful attendance, your giving, your serving, your ability to understand and synthesize things, your ability to build relationship capital and to spend it in ways that do good to people, all those things, but you have thought of them as very little, so you think it's insignificant, so you don't use it. And I think it's a call to realize that we can do a lot with a little. And maybe you're a small church planter Maybe you're a small church and you're just like, we can't do anything. We're not a big church. We're not Rick Warren or some other big mega church, so we can't do much. Just remember, Jesus fed 5,000 twice with 12 men. You can do a lot with a little. Don't underestimate what a great God can do with very, very little. And don't underestimate what God can do with you as a mother, a father, a wife, a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, neighbor, worker, doctor. What he can do with very little. Let me end with this. I think we need to reconsider our gifts in this light. Remember, it was the woman who gave a very little amount that Jesus said she gave more than all the rich, because they put in out of their abundance, but she gave all she had. It was very little, but a lot was done with very little. I want you to consider, especially during this holiday season, that little things matter. A little text saying, "Hi, I'm praying for you." A hello to someone you've never said hi before. A smile. A card that may cost you 50 cents and a little bitty note, "I'm praying for you," and you really do pray for them. A phone call just to say, "Hey, I just called to say hi. Didn't want to spend a lot of time on the phone. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you and praying for you." Little things can do a lot. So let's make that our motto. We can do a lot with a little. Blessings and peace.